Raising 18-foot all 18 Celtics championship teams. Look back at all 18 championship teams throughout Celtics history. Hi friends, I hope you will be happy. Welcome again to my Future Scope Network YouTube channel. So let's move on to today's new video. The Boston Celtics claimed their 18th NBA championship, breaking the tie with the rival Los Angeles Lakers, 17, for the most across the league. So would you like to tell which is your favorite team? Now the opportunity to relive the historic 2023-2024 campaign is here. Raising 18-foot, a 9-part docuseries covering the journey of the 2024 championship Celtics, shows exclusive behind-the-scenes footage starting with crucial off-season acquisitions and concluding with the historic 18th championship. Al Horford narrates the story, providing unique insight into the challenges the Celtics faced along the way. Every championship has a story, Horford said. The full series is available exclusively on the NBA app. Starting as one of the original 11 NBA teams, Boston's journey to its 18th banner started back in 1946. To truly appreciate the 2023-24 Celtics achievements, you must look back at the rich history that laid the foundation for them. From Bill Russell to Larry Bird to the 2008 Big Three, look back at every team that helped the Celtics reach an NBA record 18 championships. 1957, Celtics defeat Hawks 4-3. Boston 1957, the world champions of basketball Boston Celtics pose for a team portrait. Front row, L.R., Lute Siropoulos, Andy Phillip, Frank Ramsey, head coach Red Auerbach, captain Bob Cousy, Bill Sharman, Jim Loscutoff. Standing, President Walter A. Brown, Dick Hemrick, Jack Nichols, Bill Russell, Arnold Rizin, Tom Heinsohn, trainer Harvey Cohn, treasurer Lou Pieri. In Boston, Massachusetts in 1957. 1959, Celtics defeat Lakers 4-0. Boston 1959, the world champions of basketball Boston Celtics pose for a team portrait. Seated, L.R., Gene Conley, Bob Cousy, head coach Red Auerbach, President Walter A. Brown, Bill Sharman, Bill Russell. Standing, trainer Buddy LaRue, K. C. Jones, Lute Siropoulos, Tommy Heinsohn, Ben Swain, Jim Loscutoff, Sam Jones, Frank Ramsey. And inset treasurer Lou Pieri. In Boston, Massachusetts in 1959. 1960, Celtics defeat Hawks 4-3. Boston 1960, the world champions of basketball, the Boston Celtics pose in 1960 for a team portrait starting with, seated, L.R., Frank Ramsey, Bob Cousy, coach Red Auerbach, President Walter Brown, treasurer Lou Pieri, K. C. Jones, Bill Sharman. Standing, Gene Guerrilla, Tom Heinsohn, John Richter, Bill Russell, Gene Conley, Jim Loscutoff, Sam Jones. And trainer Buddy LaRue. In Boston, Massachusetts. 1961, Celtics defeat Hawks 4-1. Boston 1961, the world champions of basketball Boston Celtics pose for a team portrait. Seated, L.R., K. C. Jones, Bob Cousy, coach Red Auerbach, President Walter A. Brown, Bill Sharman, Frank Ramsey. Standing, trainer Buddy LaRue, Tom Sanders, Tom Heinsohn, Gene Conley, Bill Russell, Gene Guerrilla, Jim Loscutoff, Sam Jones. And inset treasurer Lou Pieri. In Boston, Massachusetts in 1961. 1962, Celtics defeat Lakers 4-3. Boston 1962, the world champions of basketball Boston Celtics pose for a team portrait. Seated, L.R., K. C. Jones, Gary Phillips, President Walter A. Brown, head coach Red Auerbach, treasurer Lou Pieri, captain Bob Cousy, Sam Jones. Standing, Frank Ramsey, Tom Sanders, Tom Heinsohn, Bill Russell, Gene Guerrilla, Jim Loscutoff, Carl Brown. And trainer Buddy LaRue. In Boston, Massachusetts in 1962. 1963, Celtics defeat Lakers 4-3. Boston 1963, the world champions of basketball Boston Celtics pose for a team portrait. Seated, L.R., K. C. Jones, Bill Russell, President Walter A. Brown, head coach Red Auerbach, treasurer Lou Pieri, Captain Bob Cousy, Sam Jones, John Havlicek, standing, Frank Ramsey, Gene Guerrilla, Tom Sanders, Tom Heinsohn, Clyde Lavalette, John Havlicek, Jim Lose Cutoff, Dan Swartz and trainer Buddy LaRue, in Boston, Massachusetts in 1963. 1964, Celtics defeat Warriors 4-1. Boston 1964, the world champions of basketball Boston Celtics pose for a team portrait seated, L.R., Sam Jones, Fran Ramsey, K.C., Jones head coach Red Auerbach, President Walter A. Brown, Bill Russell, John Havlicek, standing, Jack McCarthy, Tom Sanders, Tom Heinsohn, Clyde Lavalette, Willie Knowles, Jim Lose Cutoff, Larry Siegfried, trainer Buddy LaRue, inset Vice President Lou Pieri in Boston, Massachusetts in 1964. 1965, Celtics defeat Lakers 4-1. Boston 1965, the world champions of basketball Boston Celtics pose for a team portrait seated, L.R., K.C., Jones, Tom Heinsohn, President Louis Pieri, head coach Red Auerbach, Bill Russell, Sam Jones, standing, Ron Bonham, Larry Siegfried, Willie Knowles, Mel Counts, John Thompson, Tom Sanders, John Havlicek and trainer Joe DeLore in Boston, Massachusetts in 1965. 1966, Celtics defeat Lakers 4-3. Boston 1966, the 1965-66 NBA champion Boston Celtics seeded, left to right, John Havlicek, K.C. Jones, Marvin Crater, Chairman of the Board, Coach Red Auerbach, President John J. Waldron, Bill Russell, standing, left to right, Ron Bonham, Don Nelson, Tom Sanders, Mel Counts, John Thompson, Woody Salisbury, Willie Knowles, Sam Jones, Larry Siegfried and trainer Buddy LaRue in Boston, Massachusetts in 1966. 1968, Celtics defeat Lakers 4-2. Boston 1968, the world champions of basketball Boston Celtics pose for a team portrait front row, L.R., Sam Jones, Larry Siegfried, G.M., Red Auerbach, Chairman of Board Marvin Crater, President Clarence Adams, Coach Bill Russell, John Havlicek, back row, trainer Joe DeLore, Rick Weitzman, Tom Thacker, Tom Sanders, Bailey Howell, Wayne Embry, Don Nelson, John Jones, Mal Graham in Boston, Massachusetts in 1968. 1969, Celtics defeat Lakers 4-3. Boston 1969, the 1968-69 world champions of basketball Boston Celtics pose for a team portrait at the Boston Garden in Boston, Massachusetts in 1969, front row, L.R., Don Nelson, Sam Jones, player coach Bill Russell, President Jack Waldron, General Manager Red Auerbach, John Havlicek, team physician Dr. Thomas Silva, Larry Siegfried, back row, trainer Joe DeLore, Emmett Bryant, Don Chaney, Tom Sanders, Rich Johnson, Jim Barnes, Bailey Howell, Mal Graham in Boston, Massachusetts in 1969. 1974, Celtics defeat Bucks 4-3. Boston 1974, the 1973-74 NBA champion Boston Celtics pose for a team portrait at the Boston Garden in Boston, Massachusetts, seated from left, Joe White, Don Chaney, John Havlicek, President and Gene Real Manager Arnold, Red Auerbach, Chairman of the Board Robert Schmertz, Coach Tom Heinsohn, Dave Cowens, Paul Silas and Assistant Coach John Kalalia, standing from left, Assistant Trainer Mark Vogt, Team Dentist Dr. Samuel Kane, Paul Westfall, Phil Hankinson, Steve Downing, Don Nelson, Hank Finkel, Steve Kaburski, Art Williams, Team Physician Dr. Thomas Silva and Trainer Frank Challant. 1976, Celtics defeat Suns 4-2. Boston 1976, the world champions of basketball Boston Celtics pose for a team portrait seated, L.R., Charlie Scott, Paul Silas, Dave Cowens, Chairman of the Board Irving Levin, Head Coach Tom Heinsohn, President Arnold Red Auerbach, Captain John Havlicek, Joe White, Don Nelson, standing, Dr. Tom Silva, Mark Vogt, Assistant, Trainer Kevin Stackham, Glenn McDonald, Tom Boswell, Jim Ard, Steve Kaburski, Jerome Anderson, Frank Challant, Trainer Dr. Sam Kane, and Inset. Assistant Coach Chief Scout John Kalalia in Boston, Massachusetts in 1976. 1981, Celtics defeat Rockets 4-2. Boston 1981, the 1980-81 NBA champion Boston Celtics pose for a team portrait at the Boston Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. Front row, left to right, Chris Ford, Cedric Maxwell, President and General Manager Red Auerbach, Coach Bill Fitch, Chairman of the Board Harry T. Mangurian Jr., Larry Bird, Nate Archibald. Back row, Assistant Coach K. C. Jones, Wayne Kreklow, M. L. Carr, Rick Roby, Robert Parrish, Kevin McHale, Eric Ferns 10, Gerald Henderson, Assistant Coach Jimmy Rogers and Trainer Ray Melchiorre. 1984, Celtics defeat Lakers 4-3. Boston 1984, the 1983-84 NBA champion Boston Celtics pose for a team portrait at the Boston Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. Front row, left to right, Quinn Buckner, Cedric Maxwell, Vice Chairman of the Board Paul Dupuis, Chairman of the Board Don Gaston, President and General Manager Red Auerbach, Coach K. C. Jones, Vice Chairman of the Board Alan Cohen, Larry Bird, M. L. Carr. Back row, Team Physician Dr. Thomas Silva. Assistant Coach Jimmy Rogers, Gerald Henderson, Stott Wedman, Greg Kite. Robert Parrish, Kevin McHale, Dennis Johnson, Danny Ainge, Carlos Clark, Assistant Coach Chris Ford and Trainer Ray Melchiorre. 1986, Celtics defeat Rockets 4-2. Boston 1986, the 1985-86 NBA champion Boston Celtics pose for a team portrait. Front row, left to right, Danny Ainge, Scott Wedman, Vice Chairman and Treasurer Alan Cohen, Executive Vice President and General Manager Jan Vogt, President Red Auerbach, Coach K. C. Jones, Chairman of the Board Don Gaston, Larry Bird, Dennis Johnson. Back row, Equipment Manager Wayne Lebo, Team Physician Dr. Thomas Silva, Assistant Coach Jimmy Rogers, Sam Vincent, Rick Carlisle, Greg Kite, Robert Parrish, Bill Walton, Kevin McHale, David Thirdkill, Jerry Sichting, Assistant Coach Chris Ford and Trainer Ray Melchiorre. 2008, Celtics defeat Lakers 4-2. Boston June 17. The Boston Celtics organization celebrate with the Larry O'Brien Championship Trophy after defeating the Los Angeles Lakers in Game 6 of the 2008 NBA Finals on June 17, 2008 at the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. 2024, Celtics defeat Mavericks 4-2. Boston, Massachusetts June 17. The Boston Celtics pose for a photo with the Larry O'Brien Trophy and the Bill Russell Finals MVP Trophy after the game against the Dallas Mavericks during Game 5 of the 2024 NBA Finals on June 17, 2024 at the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. Thank you is not enough. Watching our videos with you brings us joy. If you've subscribed to our channel, you've made our hearts skip a beat. To watch more amazing videos like these, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you can catch our latest videos first. Our journey is incomplete without your support. Thank you.